Saluditos mi gente de Lucha Libre Online, la marca número 1 de Combat Sports y Lucha Libre en español en el mundo completo. Aquí me encuentro hoy con Josef Samael, el promotor, el dueño de PCW Ultra. Josef, thank you so much for your time today. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the platform.
I appreciate your fit, by the way. I have to give you some props. I love the fit. I love the suit. I love the elegance. So I just wanted to start the conversation by letting you know I have greatly appreciation for a man in a suit.
Thank you so much. Well, you know, you dress to impress, right? You wanna wear things that command respect.
Exactly. And you are definitely doing that. Now, there's a lot of things that I want to cover with you today, but I want to start since I am coming here live from Puerto Rico, and I know you have spent some time in Puerto Rico. So can you tell me a little bit about your time here in the island?
Sure. You know, the first time I ever did anything of substance, it was in Puerto Rico. In 1999, I started working for the earthquake John Tenta in Florida.
Okay.
And he put me with and my partner in a match with the Bushwhackers. And Luke Williams.
Los pastores.
Yes. Luke Williams, who was, you know, a big key figure in Puerto Rican wrestling for a very long time. He liked me, and he sent me and my partner to work for Carlos Colon in 2001. And then years later, I feuded with Savio Vega in the IWA. So I've main evented in both companies, WWC and IWA. And this was back when these companies were very strong, you know, very strong. We had a lot of television. The television was powerful, big angles, Carlitos Colon and Eddie Colon. And this is when they were young men, very young men.
Music
WWE.
to my ears. This is music to my ears.
Yes. So I mean, we worked with El Profe, and we worked with Invader and Carlos and Abdullah, and just the great Hurricane Castillo and Hercules Ayala, and just all the legends. So Puerto Rico holds a very special place in my heart.
And the fan base here is very, very passionate.
Very passionate. They were the first fan base that scared me when I was a young wrestler. I was hit with everything that I just couldn't imagine that they would throw at me, just from I mean everything from urine to dirty diapers to batteries to spark plugs to everything, fruit. You name it. But when they hated you, they hated you. But when they loved you, they loved you. So the fans of Puerto Rico have always been very special to me. When they liked me, they would invite me into their home, and they would take me places.
Feed you some good stuff.
Yes. I ate my first blood sausage in Puerto Rico.
Morcilla.
Just a lot of great memories for me.
I love that, and I love the time that you were involved in it, because you are right. Lucha Libre, Capital Sports Promotion, IWA, were so big here in Puerto Rico. A lot of times people ask me, how'd you fall in love with wrestling? And those are the names that I bring up. I grew up here, so that's the kind of wrestling I was watching. So I love hearing stories. I recently interviewed Luke, as a matter of fact, last week, and we talked also about his time here in Puerto Rico. Now, how long have you been doing this? Because now you're mentioning back in the 90s, right? I know that you had some time in the NWA, MLW, where we're talking like 2006. How long have you been involved in the wrestling industry?
So it's going on 25 years now. So wow. 25 years. And I've been, Puerto Rico was the first place I went to. And back in, you know, the early 2000s, you know, Puerto Rico was the final territory. You know, we were drawing big houses and stadiums in Bayamon and just wrestling all over the island. And we were wrestling maybe 4 or 5 times a week. And then after that, I went to Japan and Australia and everywhere else. But in Puerto Rico was the first place for me.
How do you adjust doing this for so long now, and especially going from wrestling to now promoter? How have you adjusted with the times? Because the times that we're talking, you know, back in the 90s to how wrestling is perceived and even consumed today? You know, there was no social media back then. There is social media now. How would you say you have evolved with the times and adjusting to how wrestling and the consumption of it has evolved with time?
Well, you know, I always had a completely different outlook on the wrestling business. I knew when I broke into the business that I wanted to be in it forever. I knew I wanted it to be my livelihood for the rest of my life. And I knew that my body is my tool, and I knew that my tool would end up wearing out sooner or later. So I always was pretty hip to the technology. I remember back in the day, I was making websites for people, and so I was kind of a step ahead all the time. And I believe that that's really been the secret to me, to my longevity. The fact that I've been a step ahead in the technology, and the fact that I understood that I needed to learn the business of professional wrestling, not just the in ring, but the behind the scenes, the promotional, the booking, I mean, everything from selling popcorn to selling tickets, you know. So early on, I just fell in love with the business, and I just never looked back, and I've always dipped my toes in every single aspect of the business. And you know, it's kept me one step ahead, and it's kept me involved in so many different things, and it's kept me sharp because, you know, I have to keep all these things going at once. So I always had a very, very good pulse on what was going on and what was to come.
Respect. I have nothing but respect. Now, you speak about being one step ahead, and I'm jumping a little bit in my bullet points, but you are still one step ahead. Over at PWC Ultra, you guys are creating the first of matches. Still to this day, you're still managing to stay ahead of time. I know you had the fan interactive match, the Young Guns, the Ultra Vault. How are you coming up with these ideas? Because sometimes as you watch wrestling, it feels like everything has been done. So how are you still trying to come up and stay creative and stay, like you say, one step ahead of everybody?
Well, so there's a long answer to that, but I'll try to give you the short answer. The short answer is I am a student of the game. Dory Funk Sr. taught Terry Funk the wrestling business, and Terry Funk and Dory Funk, or Dory Funk Sr. taught Eddie Graham the wrestling business, and Eddie Graham taught Kevin Sullivan, and Kevin Sullivan taught me. Kevin Sullivan taught me the art of booking professional wrestling. I don't really pay attention to other people. I book professional wrestling with the formulas that were created by the architects of this business. Most of the people that are running professional wrestling now are young. They don't have a connection to that old school. I feel that I am a bridge from the old school to the new. I take all of that knowledge from the old school and I implant it into the new school. And the only thing really different is the athleticism of the modern era. We didn't have that type of athleticism in the 80s and the 90s in this business. But the trick is to take that athleticism and tell stories. The problem that a lot of these companies have is they don't tell stories. They just have athleticism. So if you can mix the athleticism with the storytelling, you're really bridging the gap from the old school to the new. So I just see wrestling a little bit differently. And I mean, I actually see wrestling the correct way. A lot of people now see wrestling a little bit different. It's not a different game. That you shouldn't reinvent the wheel. You should progress the formulas from the past. You shouldn't rewrite them, because these are the formulas that sold out all these arenas for so many years and so many decades. And these are formulas that still work today. So really with me, what's old is new. So I'm just doing things that were done in the past, and I'm doing it with the mind from my mentors, which are coming from that wrestling past. And you know, it's really not that difficult for me when I come at it from that way. If I look at it and I try to do what the younger minds are doing, and I try to be one of them, that's not me. So I just take that old school fundamentals and I try to update it and try to make it exciting for my fan base. And it's been working for us. It's been working for us in a very big way.
It really has. Like I said off the air, and I stand by it, you guys are doing some incredible things over there. I have been such a huge fan of watching what you guys are doing. Talk to me about the challenges that you experience, like going from in-ring to promoter to booking to running your own, your own wrestling company? How did you experience any challenges, and how did you overcome them?
Well, there's challenges in life. There's challenges with everything. But when you do what you love, it's not hard. It's not work. So I just have a passion for this business, and I just want to be involved in it. And every time it's harder for me not to do all the things that I think of than it is for me to do it. I think of so many different things, and I get so excited, but I realize that I only have so much energy and so much bandwidth and so much creativity that I can exhaust. So I really have to hold myself back. It's not really a problem of falling into pitfalls. I guess the only challenge of this time right now as we sit is the wrestlers today, because they've been brought up on social media, they're always looking for the next best thing. I tend to work a lot better with older wrestlers, not like 50, 60-year-old legends. I'm talking about wrestlers that have been in the game 10 years plus. Those are the types of people that have the mental maturity, that understand a good promoter and not having to worry about your pay, and understanding that you're going to be in an arena and there's going to be people there. And, so I'm working with, I like to work with guys that really, and girls that really understand the wrestling business, and they value the table that I'm setting up for them. Some of the younger guys, they just don't have the experience or the mental maturity to value what a company like PCW Ultra actually accomplishes for them. Because really, in today's era, nobody's really a big draw. So it's up to the promoter, it's up to the company. I mean, I'm seeing, I'm drawing with my legends from the past that the fans have seen when there wasn't that much stuff to do. There was no Netflix,
Right.
the TV was very strong. So those are really the stars. Those are the ones that I listen to, like my mother or my in-laws or somebody, and I'll say, hey, Chavo Guerrero? Oh yeah, I know Chavo. Okay, so but if I ask them if they know a new wrestler, they have no idea. So I look for the casual fan's response. If the casual fan knows who that is, then I'm going to sell more tickets.
Agree. Now you mentioned about exciting things. I think PCW Ultra is super exciting, and I know that you guys have 7 years celebration coming up, and I know that you have Jacob Fatu is going to be defending the title here soon. That's a very Uzi move of you guys. Talk to me about the
Yeah.
acquisition and having him be a part of this.
Well, Jacob Fatu is somebody that's very special to me. I've been managing Jacob Fatu behind the scenes for many years. Jacob Fatu's been in our company since the very beginning. Me and Jacob were a tag team. We still are a tag team called War Beast. We're the longest reigning and defending tag team in the history of California wrestling. We just beat Eduardo Carpentier's record that was held since the early 60s. So Jacob Fatu is my oos. Me and him are very, very tight. So having him capitalize on that spot in the Ultra Vault and win that championship means a lot to me. I have no ill will as far as competition or anything like that. I've done everything. I've main evented Puerto Rico. I've main evented Mexico, Japan, Australia, Canada, the United States. I've done it. I've been world champions everywhere and back. So I have no anything competitive with Jacob Fatu. I'm here to facilitate the proper moves for Jacob Fatu and to basically share him with the world. Because in my opinion, Jacob Fatu is the baddest man on the planet right now. Jacob Fatu is the greatest wrestler in professional wrestling currently. And before we're done, I'd like to see Jacob Fatu talked about in the light of who's your Mount Rushmore of wrestling. I'd like Jacob Fatu to be on that. And I've never quite seen a piece of talent like Jacob Fatu. I've seen everybody. I've been in the ring with everybody. But I've never seen somebody as special as Jacob Fatu. He could talk. He could walk. He's athletic. He's powerful. He has the endurance. He has the athleticism. He can brawl. I mean, the guy is just everything. He's a wonderful, wonderful specimen. And he's going to lead PCW Ultra even higher than we've been before.
I couldn't agree more. I think he is absolutely incredible. And like I said, people should definitely stay tuned to all the things that he's doing over there with you guys. Now, 7 years, what's next for PCW Ultra, and what do you see in the future for you guys?
8 years. And 9 years and 10 years and 11 years. We just want to be here for the long haul. I have a couple projects that I'm working on now that I'm not able to speak on yet.
Man, I was trying to get it from you. I saw your tweet and I was like, maybe I can get him to spill some tea for me, but that's okay. I'll wait.
It's just too early. Everything in professional wrestling, when people hear something, they jump on it and they beat you to the punch. So as soon as we're ready to reveal it, the world will know. But we are always trying to stay one step ahead in this game. We'll definitely be here forever and a day because we're a healthy company. You know, professional wrestling it's really, really difficult to run a professional wrestling company. However, it's very, very easy to lose money at professional wrestling. And PCW Ultra, we're here for 7 years, and that's a testament. That's great. That's wonderful. But the fact that we're financially healthy is a wonderful thing. We're not in debt. And most professional wrestling companies are. It's a very, very difficult game to run a live event business, to run a streaming business, to do all the things that you do in professional wrestling. There are so many ways to lose money. So the fact that we're healthy 7 years in is just incredible. I'm very grateful. I'm so grateful to our fan base that have supported us, that they come out. I mean, we're drawing houses that are unheard of on the independents. We don't have, an unlimited bank account. We don't have but we are working in a way that we're able to continue to grow. And it's due to our fan base. They really enjoy what we're giving them. And we just couldn't be prouder of what we've accomplished, and we couldn't be more grateful that they followed us this long. 7 years is incredible. A lot of businesses don't last that long, and the fact that we're still here, we're healthy, and we're still swinging, and we're all still passionate about it. Like nobody's tired. Everybody's still involved. So that's really a testament to how we treat our staff and how we treat our fans. We don't insult them, we give them what they want, but we also make it exciting for them. So they don't always know everything, it's still fun to be a fan of PCW Ultra.
I love that. And I love how you're saying 9 years, 8 years, 9 years. You can't, it's good to look ahead, but you have to be realistic and take it one step at a time. We can't get to 10 years from now without making it through the next 3, right? So especially throughout the pandemic, how was that for you? Because that was such an adjustment for all promoters. Like that had to be a tough time to figure out, how do we go from here?
Yeah, the pandemic was incredibly hard. It was almost like starting from scratch. And there was a time where, I was thinking about closing the doors. It was like, hey, this is just, nobody's going to care when we come back. When we had our first show back, which was almost, it was almost 2 years later, right? And we sold the place out. It just changed everything in my mind. It just gave me such a newfound respect for our fan base. It just floored me. I just really, honestly, I didn't believe that was going to happen. Like I couldn't believe that they wanted us back that bad. And it was special. It was really special for a time to be so hard and everybody struggling. I mean, there wasn't anybody that wasn't struggling. Everybody was struggling. And then for us to come back and for people to care and to still be in there when, some people didn't make it through, and just a lot of people didn't make it to the other side with a lot of money. A lot of people were behind, and for people to say, you know what, this makes us feel good, and we want to be, we want this feeling again. I mean, what do you say to that? It's just, it's just so incredible. It's so incredible that we're just grateful. It's so incredible that we're in that position that these fans took it upon
wanted you guys
themselves to
back.
still support us. Yeah, it's just amazing. So for the bad, for how bad it was, it turned out to be so good, you know.
I love that, and I love the gratitude that you show because it's very genuine. This is what keeps you going, right? You're in such an uncertain time, and just to see that desire from the fans, that really what keeps you going and motivated. And speaking of that, it just seems like you're such a busy guy. You're still, you know, wrestling, you're booking, you're running this company. What do you do on your free time, if you have any? How do you disconnect from all of this, and what do you do on your you time?
You know, I travel a lot. So I just came back from Norway. About 6 months prior to that, I went to Spain. I love to travel. I love to buy vinyl records. I love jazz. I love heavy metal. I love funk. I love everything. So I'm very much into music and live music and traveling to see live music and things like that. So yeah, just I make time. You know, there has to be a balance in life.
Right.
You know, there has to be a balance for you. There has to be a payoff. Oh, if I get through this campaign and I get through this show, and then I'm gonna do that. You know, there's got to be just a treat at the end of that. You know, so yeah, I definitely travel, and music is my thing, and food. Anywhere I go to, I love to eat.
And Joseph, do you want to let the people of Lucha Libre Online know where they can follow you, PCW Ultra, and everything that you guys are doing over there?
Sure. So if you go to PCWUltra.com, that has our Facebook, our Twitter, everything, and all of our Facebook, Twitter, everything is just at PCW Ultra. Me personally, I'm at Josef Samael. So that's JOSEF SAMAEL. And yeah, so I'm over there doing my thing, and PCWUltra.com. We're over there doing our thing. And yeah, we just appreciate the support. If you want to see our library, we have an on-demand channel. We have merchandise. We have our live events, and we're getting ready to do pay-per-views and things like that in the future. And yeah.
Joseph, I want to thank you so much for your time today, taking time of your busy schedule to come have a chat with me. It's fascinating trying to dig into your brain and hear all of these fascinating stories that you have to say. And like I said, keep killing it over there. I'm a big fan of what you guys are doing.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. You're absolutely lovely, and I appreciate it. I very, very much.
A los fanáticos de Lucha Libre Online pueden entrar a www.pcwultra.com y ahí pueden encontrar todas las redes sociales de la compañía de Joseph. Les quiero dar muchas gracias por su tiempo hoy y hasta la próxima vez. Adiós.